people of the internet. Welcome to Chaos Fridays, where we play a lot of Blades in the Dark. And we are going to be dealing with some of the things that were happening in the last session. And unfortunately, we will be calling this session of Chaos Friday to a close soon because of IRL constraints for a lot of my lovely players and myself. But we are going to go out with a goddamn bang, if I have anything to say about it. And possibly Embado.
Probably will die. Probably will die
Yeah.
at the end of this game.
But yes, let me give it to my players to introduce themselves and what are you doing here? Who are you, and what are you playing? What's the scene? Let's go with Gilly.
Hi, I'm Gilly. You can find me at Look It's Gilly most places on the internet. My pronouns are she, her. I am playing Fable, who is a shadow and whose pronouns are she. It's been a minute since I played Fable. I'm going to say she, her also. And, pronouns are fluid. So if I realize halfway through the game that that's wrong, we'll just adapt. And primarily Fable has been information gathering, which is why she was absent from the last two games. I've been off doing things and talking to people and blending in, because that is kind of Fable's particular branch of shadow. Is she's not necessarily invisible, but she's there and you don't notice her.
100%. Moving on, Mr. Adam.
Hi, I'm Adam Yee. You can find me on Blue Sky. It's me, Adam Yee. I play Embardo Lizardin, a man obsessed of being a dragon. So he is unhinged, crazy, and wants to basically light things on fire or explode things. So he has, I think, in the past wrecked a bunch of things. Doesn't know what canonically does not know what a door is, and now is faced against his biggest obstacle, another door.
Indeed. Last but not least for now, because I think we lost one of our players because the Indian Electricity Board likes to betray people, and unfortunate. But Mr. Souza.
Hello, I'm Andrew. You can find me at ASouzaGM, wherever you're trying to find me at. I'm playing Alfred Arn. He's a Scovlin noble. Dresses really nice and tries to steal extra money for his fellow Scovlins. So that's me.
All right. I guess we will wait for the last player to join in when the power comes back. But oh damn, this is going to be difficult to deal with because okay, let's go with it. We begin in the endless dark of the Shattered Isles and zoom into the continent of Akaros and its most prominent and famous city, Duskwall, where we are catching up with the Veiled, a group of shadows that has recently started operations and is currently in the middle of a score where they were dealing with a remnant of a man who now, as a ghost, is obsessed with having his possessions from life saved and kept away from ne'er-do-wells and scallywags and skullduggery that is one of the most prominent features of life in Duskwall. The Veiled got outsourced, helped, and let people know in their circles that they were looking for a shadow. A whisper, sorry, and the whisper has gotten them in touch with this ghost and has taken the veil to this person's house. Deep in Six Towers, the formerly prestigious district that is now paled and is mostly an empty, haunted feel, sprawling old buildings that are without power, and broad stone streets cracked and buckled, squatters everywhere, and more threats to this ghost's last horde. They reached the house and, after some investigation, found a secret door. Dun dun dun. And they went down and they found a demon having been contracted by this person in life to protect said door. There was a little bit of initial friction because this demon was asked by the resident hound about whether he wanted dog treats. And that didn't really go well. But we come back to the moment where the demon is hovering in the air in front of this door that leads to the secret horde. And it is the three of you who are right now in front of it. I'll say that Liliana Void Rage and her trusty three-headed dog are ejected from the premises with a snap of the finger, as the demon does not want to parley with dog treats. And he turns to you all, eyes sizzling with a fire that promises a lot of pain. In that moment, what would you all do? He does seem to be increasingly hostile. And yeah, what would be the first move of action amongst the three of you here?
So Alfred is going to sort of step forward and say, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. What about a bet, a gentleman's bet, if you will? Roll some dice, and the winner, gets to progress in the direction that they wish. You don't want us here. We want to be here. We could bet.
Now that Maya's come back, we weren't really sure when your power would come back. So
yeah, it's been fluctuating. Sorry about that.
No worries. You were currently, with the snap of the finger, ejected out of the house. Both you and your the dog. You are free to come back in if you would like to. As you kind of appeared outside of the house, the whisper that you hired was like, "Wait, what is happening? Hey, what?" But yeah, the demon turns to you and no, that is interesting. I have not had the opportunity to play with a mortal in a while, but there does not seem to be a cost for you to enter into a bargain with one such as me. Make it more interesting, and then let's see if your hook catches this fish.
So
Well, I guess the question is, what is it that you would want?
I was contracted by the mortal when he was alive to guard his pitiful hoard and I have kept my end of the bargain. But his death keeps him here. And when he passes on, his soul will go to me, as those were the terms of the contract. And, but given that this is still the case,
That the demon dog whining.
that might be. Um, if you make this pitiful fool pass on and let go of his paltry attachments, that would be good for me. But demons don't operate on a quid pro quo. I want something else. And he looks to all of you.
So the treats are not enough. Would you like a toy?
Oh,
I have good toys.
you come back in?
Yeah.
He would snarl at you, and I'm going to give a situation right now. There is a green fire that builds up in his claw as it is being raised to not you, but to your dog. What would you do in that situation, Liliana Voidrage?
I would command my dog to take a step back. I would stand in front of him and tell him to go. I will give him the command of a sit and a down, and I will wait for him to obey.
The demon?
Yes, the demon.
He will.
Nobody gets to attack my dog.
He will snarl, and the green flare of magic, of essence, of ether shoots forth, curls around you, and does hit your dog. And in that moment, he looks to you and a Taikarosi, watered down blood of my own, and you choose to play with a wolf when you're but a pup. That is not how nature works, girl. And there is a yelp from your dog, and there is an extraction of a black material of essence that has been taken from your dog and goes into his maw as your whimpering hound turns into a normal dog, not a three-headed dog. It is changed forever. It is changed forever, and its essence is robbed. And that essence is in his hand, and he looks you in the eye as he bites into it. And now this is a treat. And swallows all of it. Now, if the puppy has done with his posturing, I will turn back to the deal at hand, mortal. I haven't played, but the odds are stacked against you. There is something that you must provide in addition. Give me a cost to play.
I'll whispers. So like, you're good at these games, right? I'm gonna whisper to what's Alfred. I'm gonna whisper to Alfred.
Yes, quite good.
Okay, just Yeah, just say like your soul. I think that's like the easiest thing to do. Like,
I don't know that that's a good idea.
oh, it's a great idea. I mean, what's a soul's worth? Like, yeah, if you say your soul and you win the game, we're good.
No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna gamble mine. You use my soul to gamble.
Oh,
He just
perfect.
messed with my dog.
That's great. All right,
But
her soul.
in
you play
exchange,
this
he had
first.
better turn my dog back.
Oh,
Mm.
they're gonna play 2 games then. We need that door open.
Yeah. I
The
don't
main
care. I want my dog
objective
back.
is the main objective is the door.
I
We
need
the
my
door
dog back.
open.
So, either you can gamble your own soul or you can use mine, but then I have to get my dog back.
Okay, so that means we need to do 2 games instead of 1 game.
The demon is looking at all of this and is merely just like the grin kind of just grows. Have you come to a decision?
Yeah, I guess that'll be our deal. Yeah, open the door and fix the dog, and you can have a soul if you win.
It is always curious to me how mortals care so little. But a deal is a deal. And you mean to play a game of dice with me?
Yeah.
He will burn, his hands raise and fire coalesces and turns into a playing set of dice. Pitch black with red dots on all of them. Then they are here. Step forth, mortal, and play.
All right. Yeah, I think Alfred walks up there and says, "This, of all the decisions, is the worst decision I've made, but here we are."
Playing games with a demon.
Yeah. So this would be a desperate role. Your condition is also risky. What would you like to do in this instance, Mr. Alfred on? The demon has provided his own dice. How would you like to play?
So I think I want to use finesse as my sort of role thing for sure. I think it's more of a trying to roll the dice.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I think I'll also push myself.
All right. Very fair.
Take the 2 stress. So that's what is. I'm just.
And these dice are not loaded?
Oh no, they're not. Dice.
Well, it's the trick, right? It's not the dice doesn't matter. It's the way you use them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna do finesse. I'm gonna push myself.
All right.
And I guess
So,
I'll just roll this.
100%. That is 2 dice from your finesse pool. You're going to push yourself. And given that Liliana has put in her own soul as part of the barter, I think she would be aiding you in that regard. She is definitely taking stress for that. So I would say you have a pool of 4 dice.
All right. Let's gamble souls with demons. 6.
You have a 6.
Oh, I have a 6.
You throw the dice, and with the most adept little swirl of your wrists, you have a position where the 3 black dice of the demon turn up with all 6s. And the demon was looking at you this whole time with eyes following your every move. But because of the critical nature, it's a success, a complete success. He takes his own turn, and when he throws the dice, they are all 6s except for one, which is a 2. And he will look at the dice and look at you. And an interesting use of a skill that I have not seen in a while, mortal. Well played. Well played. And he will look to you, Liliana, and the next time you choose to speak up, pup, remember that there are always bigger dogs out in the wild. And he will, regurgitate a mass of coalescing, swirling black that will go back to you, to your dog. And there's a yelp as he returns to what he once was. But in that moment, he steps away from the door, and in a blink of motion, he comes to you and catches you by the throat and slams you into the nearest wall as his hands burn. And now there is an added mark that you have, that you will always have for the rest of your life, of a curling, smoky fire scar on your throat. And he will growl and drop you, and will turn to the rest of you. Make sure that it is safe, and that mortal lets go, and his soul will be mine. And takes 2 steps and disappears into the wall. The
Great
door,
job.
the door in front of you is fine. And Liliana, from that, the damage that you've took in that moment, you would get a harm, a level 1 of harm. So you are slightly hurt. It's hard for you to talk right now because of the scar that is still cooling, and so you will have to do some work to do that. And you know what, actually, this is a level 2 harm, straight up. So you are going to have to get this scene to, because now going forward, until you get this scene to, you will have a -1 dice in anything that you roll. And yeah, your dog is back, and he immediately does come to you, and all 3 heads start licking your face, as there is obvious concern and anxiety in your dog now, because poor thing just went through a fucking transition of so he his whole life he's had three heads and 3 points of view, and then it was just one. Like your dog is messed up and is kind of cowering next to you with his tail tucked behind his legs because his master just insulted a demon, and yeah, consequences. But yeah, the door remains is open, and you have uh, you have no detriment to your path forward, as Alfred Ahn stated. Yeah. Hello, Laura. So you were also here, and you've seen all of this happen. Your compatriots gambled with a soul to get the demon to potentially go away, and the demon was also just waiting for this mortal who contracted him to die so that he could take his soul, but fucker refused to pass on, and the sooner this is done, the more souls he has. So he got a little bit of entertainment out of it, and he has now stepped back into wherever it is that demons come from. What would you like to do?
I would like to check my bag for like a clean handkerchief or something like that, and go over to her hurt friend and offer it to her and try to kind of. I mean, I know you're buried under your dog, but I would try to help you up and just be there for you because, you know, I might not be an expert in what hurts or what doesn't, but that looks like it hurts.
Do you take the clean linen handkerchief, Liliana Void Rage?
I do. With my hands shaking, I do, and I look at her with an appreciative gaze. But since I can't speak, I just breathe in a lot of pain, but a lot of anger too.
It's all right. We'll get you fixed up. By the way, I know that I cannot lower the harm, but I am the spider, and I have this little knick-knack of, bitch, I'm prepared for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I have like a stroke of genius and packed a med kit or something like that? Because let's be honest, with these wonderful people,
you could definitely do that as a flashback. Like, you know, describe how you would have just the right kind of soothing balm, healing salve that you would have prepared for this.
It's low-key giving burn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we go back to a flashback with Sasha packing their bag, putting in the burglar stuff, the rope, whatever they might need, the talisman, and in the background we still hear talking. And if I try to like put it in here and maybe just tilt the fabric a tiny bit, it could not. Maybe it doesn't explode. I could have up to 40% of chance that it's not exploding instantly. Sasha turns slowly back. Sasha grabs for the burn self.
Fair enough. That is it's not a very serious kind of flashback, so only one stress for that.
Let's see.
And
and since I have my ability, I don't use any because I use it to help her.
Oh, look at this. Look who knows their sheet. God damn. All right.
I don't even have it up.
Flex. But yes, you can.
Twice per run, I'm allowed to do this.
Perfect.
Twice per story.
Yeah, you hand a healing salve, which Liliana can apply to her throat, and very quickly it does, like, so one level of harm is reduced immediately. You can talk again. And yeah, for the others, the door to the ghost's earthly horde is unbarred and approachable. But Embardo, once again, the greatest villain of your existence, confronts you. The door.
I run into it.
I mean, fair enough. Like it's an audible thunk, and
Ow.
yeah, yeah.
Can I run?
These
And there's a tiny
damn
bump
doors.
forming on his head.
Yeah.
All right.
The, yeah.
The door is, in fact, not a lie.
Can I punch it or wreck it?
You can definitely wreck this door.
Alright.
I'm still like helping with the stuff, but I'm not even looking back. He didn't even.
What kind of door is
try
it?
to
Is like
him.
is it like a metal vault door?
Yes, it is very much that.
Alright, I got a 4 and a 6, which is nice.
Okay, so 6. Describe how, with an almost uncanny precision, you destroy and open the vault door.
Yeah, I run and like literally use my foot and just kick the door down. As I think the hinges might have made it easier, just over time as it snaps and it like falls down with a huge clung.
Yep. And walking inside, you definitely see a fuckload of coin and a number of different artifacts that I mean, it's, you don't see it, but like, they're like, monetary, value. But there is one thing that you do spot, Embardo. At the very back is, and this room, there's no light in it. It's the only light that comes is now from the lanterns that you have with you. And Embardio, as you look down into this space, your eyes follow your shadow as it goes in deeper, and you look up, and at the very end of the room, you do see something that makes you cock your head. It seems to be a glider.
Ooh. Do I see a picture of Leonardo da Vinci here? I look at it and I touch it. I try to examine it.
It is with a lot of the cloth parts of the wings are a little rotted away at this point, but with a little bit of investment and a little bit of energy, these could very easily be repaired and used. Give me, I mean, what do you think Embardo would use to kind of inspect this glider?
I think you would tinker with it just to see if the mechanics are like sound.
Yeah. Okay. Give me a tinker roll.
All right, it is a 3d6, and I'm rolling on Google. 333.
333.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks similar to some of the plans that you've made, and you know that your plans are the best. And yeah, with a little bit of maintenance / like cleaning and upgrading, these could very well be wings that you could use.
Ooh, interesting. Just like my drawings. All right. I think he's going to try to. I will say, like, I feel like a big consequence is he breaks it. But we'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
he
would
tries to
be.
stuff it in his bag and it just breaks.
Yeah. As I said, you think it's the best design.
Yeah. So he puts it in his bag, but it might be just a pile of sticks at the end of this.
Yeah. As you are doing that, and the rest of you are going through the hoard of artifacts and coin, your hired whisper comes running into the larder, and no, I don't know if you know this, but that all of some things made sound, and there was red glow over house that attracted a lot of eyes. A lot of people seem to be coming in this direction. I think I have done my part of the job. I am going to skedaddle. And I was good working with you. I hoge by and just starts running up and away, letting you know that there are people who are coming towards the house now. Uh, what would you like to do in that moment?
How much time do we need to leave the house?
With all of this stuff, I mean, it'll
No,
take a while.
without it. Like just dash.
Uh, it would. It wouldn't take any time. It's just a choice of leaving the hoard there and potentially not going through with the contract that you had with the ghost, as much as a contract as it was.
So I feel like our lurk might be prepared for maybe a getaway, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Gilly, do you have a flashback in mind?
No, but yes, and
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, what would be a good place for this to happen? I guess I guess I overheard something that someone maybe I what is okay. Help me help you.
Okay.
What is the key? What would Fable consider the key piece of intel, right, that she could provide here?
It would essentially be a preparation that you might have had of a wagon that was waiting nearby, and
Okay.
you have a
Here's what
flare gun or something of that sort.
Yes, it's definitely a flare gun because Fable is for subtlety above all else.
Mhm.
So I think that she's straight up just sitting on a covered wagon. I say covered, I don't mean like Wild West covered wagon. I mean there's like a tarp on top of a bunch of stuff in the back.
Okay.
And she very much expects everyone to get in this wagon and sit on top of the crates and the uncomfortable barrels that are in the back. It's sort of like in the middle of nowhere where you see a bunch of people on the back of a pickup truck on the freeway or highway, and you're like, someone is probably going to die. That's the situation. And I think that the flashback is simply Fable just people are trying to talk to Fable and she's just dangling money in front of them and kind of exchanging goods for the use of this cart. And it's supposed to be, in any other movie this would be a smooth talking montage, but I think it's Fable just powering through any conversation that people are trying to have with her.
Yeah. All right.
And then
So
fading into the background.
100%. You, knowing that you have this prepared, you go to one of the cellar windows and shoot your flare, knowing that the arrangements have been made for a cart to be at the front of the house within 30 seconds of the flare going off.
Flare is purple.
Flare's purple. You have around 30 seconds to maybe get as much stuff from here as you would want. Would you go for coin or would you go for items that are here.
What was the end mission again? To get an
To-
artifact or
To essentially get secure the hoard and make sure that it does not go into other hands. Now, how that might be taken in a moment of where other people are coming to get it and other people might get their hands on it. I don't know, Embardo, what would go through your head? Is
Embardo's a coward, so he would probably take the coin.
Okay.
And run off to the wagon.
But you haven't ensured that the hoard would not go into other hands. And there is a demon that is already a little pissed with you for, like, that situation. And if you do not ensure that the ghost passes on, there might be some consequences.
I have a funny idea. What if we pretend we're demons and they can't go through?
I mean,
No, that idea might not be as far off.
fair. How do you guys want to cook?
You seem like the most demonic person here as I look with my dragon eyes. And I look at the three-headed dog. I think we might be able to pull this off. Maybe we could do like a play.
Yeah.
Give me a hot dang second, all right? Give me a second.
We have props.
Of course. But yeah, so the emerging plan to deal with whatever attention is going to the house is to pretend that it's filled with demons and to scare off any people, or what's happening? Because okay, go ahead.
Oh, nice. I kind of want to make props based off of like the inspiration of flying and based off the like a lot of things. I think I can tinker up some props to scare everyone at the house.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's a fair amount of stuff here that does seem to be extremely different from what, like, a normal Duskwall citizen would encounter in their day-to-day lives. There's all sorts of imagine, like, tribal masks of wood and bone and from the Dagger Isles, artifacts from the deepest, darkest corners of Scovlin, and in fact, I'd say, like, one of the things you could find in it. Actually, I'm going to make a luck roll for you guys, and let's see what happens there. And I rolled a 6. So you do have, as you kind of quickly look around the space, there is also a working animatronic model of a Scovlin ghost-eating horse, which is essentially one of the most scariest looking things you could find on 4 feet, unless it has demon blood. Yeah.
Okay. I think I have an idea. I want to like turn that into a costume that kind of looks like a dragon.
Interesting.
I mean, you have like the flyer wings.
I have the flyer wings.
You do have wings.
Yep, I have the flyer wings. I want to attach it to the dragon, and I kind of want to like put my. I have a plan. I kind of want to put my head into the ghost, like as like part of the head of the ghost horse thing, and kind of like spook them.
Interesting. I mean, there are. So, as part, what loadout did you take for this mission, this score, Embardo?
I think I did normal.
You did a normal, all right.
Yeah.
So you can have up to 5 things, and Yeah. Is there something from your equipment that you think might aid this?
So I have fine tinkering tools. I have fine wrecking tools. I think I would use the fine tinkering tools to modify it.
Yeah, 100%. All right.
Great.
All right. So this is again a desperate situation,
All right.
risky
Aadi?
as all hell. Yeah, go on.
I would like to use my second assist, and it's a wild one. So you're gonna tell me if it's something I can do. All right?
Okay.
Because I'm gonna be honest, Sasha did not prepare for. We're now all pretending to be demons. Sasha got his mask with them all the time, but we had a situation, and now that's the thing where I ask you, and I'm willing to pile on more stress. It's not a flashback per se. It's
Mhm.
more what's happening elsewhere. Because
Okay.
if we remember correctly, Sasha was very kind to those ghost kids.
Yes,
And those
yes.
ghost kids now see a lot of very angry, very evil looking men running after them. So maybe we either get some ghosts to help us play Haunted House, or they get here delayed and already a bit spooked.
Interesting. Interesting. Hmm. You know what? It's completely feasible given how you dealt with the ghost kids that you could have a flashback where you uh, ask them to come and play.
I don't think it would be a flashback. I believe Sasha would watch everybody get into a position and be like, I know you're here somewhere. You know, if you wanted to play, now would be a great time.
So would you consider this an assist? Would you want this to be mechanically an assist?
I'm going to call for different roles from different people because this is, I think, something that's a little more layered as an
Okay.
attempt at deception, right? So you can definitely take an assist from one of the others. Uh, what I want from Sasha is some way to. I mean, you would technically have an advantage as such, like, not mechanically, but you would have an advantage because you dealt with them really well earlier. So, um, yeah, as Embardo and Sasha are clearly preparing to do things, what would the other three be doing? How would you want to contribute to this deception? What ideas come to the fore? No, nothing.
I am the disguised person. That's my special ability is cloak and dagger.
Mm-hmm.
So when I use the disguise, I get an extra dice. So, and also I have the capability of taking a fine disguise kit because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't used all my stuff. So I could just follow along and disguise myself as well. I have all the tools to do so.
Yeah. All right. What do you want to just like start looking like a ghost yourself, or what's the plan here?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best play.
All right.
I think Alfred kind of like pictures the ghost that they talk to in his mind and like tries to mock that it's similar look.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Gilly, how would you want to just aid Embardo, or do you have something that you have in mind?
So I'm not there, right?
You're there because you are currently like you have let off the flare, so now there is a cart that is waiting at the front door. But
Okay.
now you see that your compatriots are doing this.
They're doing spookiness.
Mhm.
Yes, I will attempt to aid. I think I'm going to try because my special ability is the ability to shift and become essentially invisible, but I'm not going to do that. I think instead what I'm going to do is try and project my voice so that it's like spooky voices coming from everywhere, right?
Okay. Okay.
Um this is sort of the equivalent of being the haunted house tape recorder that's tucked in the walls.
Yeah. Fair enough. And given that Maya has internet Indian electricity board, man, oof. But yeah, I think we'll say that Maya is giving you an assist, Embado, in the moment.
Cool.
So,
I'll take inspiration from the dog and like try to
yep,
shape everything with it.
100%.
Be the dog you wish to see in the world.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right. So, what I'm now going to ask from the others is, what skill do you think you want to bring into play here? Like, as part of the nuanced and layered deception that you are attempting to pull off in this regard.
I'm gonna make a case for prowl.
Yeah, 100%. Makes sense to me. Makes sense to me.
I'm gonna push myself with Tinker.
All right, perfect. Uh, Alfred, what about you?
I'm gonna go sway.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely go for it. Yeah, I think that makes sense. You are pretending to be the ghost of the house owner and adding to it. Sasha, how would you want to deal with the children, the ghost children?
I believe I would try to go for concert because I'm not like trying to trick them, but like actually inviting them to play. It will be a bit difficult because Sasha can't see shit. But I believe putting on a mask and doing woo with a green shawl is cool for any kid.
Yeah, 100%. I like the plan thus far. Let's make our rolls, people, and let's see what we all get.
Question, because it's been a minute since I've been here. I have 2 levels in prowl.
Yep.
So that's an addition that I make to the roll, right? Not a number of dice that I roll.
No, that is
It's a number of
that.
dice.
It's a number of dice.
It
It's
is
a dice
a number
pool.
of dice. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought so, but I was afraid that I was
No
wrong.
worries. No worries. No worries.
I got 5, 4, 1, 1 on my roll, so 5.
Five. Okay. 5. Okay. Success.
I would also like to push myself, but instead of stress, I do believe it fits better that it's a devil bargain because if it works, these kids gonna like Sasha.
You know what? Let's go for it.
Right.
I got 5, 3, 2.
Okay. 5. Okay. Okay.
I got
6,
531. We're so close.
Okay.
6,
Okay.
3, 4.
6, 3, 4. All right. With the highest roll being a 6 and every one of the others having rolled a 5, I will now describe what happens. As you all do your preparation and we zoom outside of the house, and it's essentially a ring of people that are now moving closer and prowling up to this uh, what is clearly a haunted mansion, as windows, despite the still air of the night, windows, the openings are clattering and opening back and forth. A soft kind of entity and vibe is there. The there are several ghost children, like, that are literally kind of materialize and start doing a hopscotch in front of them. And do you want to play as well? And and like at the and when that happens, the front door of the house bursts through, and your animatronic horse winged dog with the glowing yellow eyes in the middle from Embardo open up, and I'm guessing, like, there's a screech of metal on metal in the most disturbing way. Do you want to describe that, Adam?
Yeah. So yeah, in the spooky hallways, like you hear this just grating sound because Zimbardo's not the didn't really refine it too much under pressure. As the monster's like horse head comes like saying, "You've met the dragon of Duskwall. Leave, leave
And I think
my
from
lair."
behind that, like, Alfred's ghost impression also pops up and just like it at all of them. And there are a couple of panicked shots that are kind of going off in that direction. So I will say that that is the cost of the, like, the majority of it being 5 rolled with some consequence. The ones who were at the front, that is namely Alfred and Embardo, you do get glancing shots from the panicked gunfire that kind of went off as all of the people ran the fuck away from this creepy ass house with the dragon of Duskwall and a ghost, like, so the two of you take 1 level of harm, but the night is now quiet, except for distant screams of people running away. And you are free to load up the cart that Gilly has brought with everything from the horde. And that is a successful conclusion of this score.
Come on, kids, we're playing Tetris.
Yeah, I'd say the devil's bargain that you took in this moment is that, like, now you are charged with coming here every week, at least once a day, to play with these kids.
Sounds fair. I would have thought you would have just full ass haunted my ass. So once a week going there and playing with the kids, it's fine.
Yeah. But you rolled a 6, so, like, no consequences there. But yes, it is very easily now in the quiet of the night, with no prying eyes on you or keeping track of your movements. It is extremely easy for the Veiled to loot the entire cellar vault and take everything with you back to your theater lair. And yeah, that is I'm not gonna lie, that is a fair bit of fucking coin that has come your way. You have at this point 8 coin that you've gotten from this little venture. I think
Well, hello.
from your vaults you can only keep 4, so all of the rest of you can have, like, one vault, 1 coin each to kind of spend it in whatever way you would like, because
We need one to. Still need one to pay a whisper.
yep, you can definitely have paid the NPC higher, and yeah. um,
We won at crime, is what I'm hearing.
so given how you dealt with that, there is no heat because everyone was convinced that this is one of yet another spectral uh, a activity that happens in the haunted Six Towers district. So no heat, and we will deal with the experience that you all get, and definitely, I think the word of the Veiled has also gotten around in that you definitely have more rep because this was definitely a from how I look at it, it is what because if I go back to your sheet, you were, I mean, the reputation is ambitious, and I think this tracks with that. This was a rather ambitious play, and it has gone through in fine fashion. So nice job, guys. Nice job.
Also, Fable has started a whole host, a selection of rumors about the dragon of Duskvol. So there's
Nice.
they're all different
Yeah,
varieties.
100%.
But one would start to go through, because that's the one Sasha is spreading, that the dragon of Duskwall is very out for those who try to harm children, and that this haunted house is basically a ghost children orphanage by now. So anybody who ever dares to hurt a fucking child and doesn't and it might result in a ghost will absolutely be dead. Absolutely.
Fair
I'm also
enough.
gonna cultivate a daredevil reputation for him. Like, do this again and I'll cut you. That was my Charlie Cox impression. You don't need to applaud. I know it's amazing.
All right, perfect. So, yeah, 1 second. That is, how, Adam, how much time do you have left for before you have to head off?
I have an hour.
You have an hour. All right,
Yeah.
I think this would be a good time to go into a break then, because hey, you've concluded your first score. Yeet, yeet. And we shall come back to the session when we go into any of the. I said that you didn't get any heat, but we will go into a quick little downtime, and I think what we will do after that is try and get an information and gather information for your the final score of the Veiled. Right? Awesome. So then, Steve, I think we are going to go on a 15-minute break, and we shall be back up. Let's go. All right. We are back from the conclusion of the first successful score of the Veiled. And yeah, you all make it back to your theater lair, old abandoned theater lair. And it seems a little emptier now that you've lost a couple of people from your initial line. But hey, the stage always waits. Um, the Now that we have concluded the session, uh, you earn both rep and coin, and given that there was no actual there was no higher tier entity that you were kind of targeting as part of the score, like you have a default score of 2, so your the rep of your little band of thieves and never-do-wells does go up by 2, and it was not a major job, but because of the nature of the job and because of old money that has been saved up for a long time, you have earned 8 coin. Yeah, you are currently in a position where you don't have to pay for the tithe for the gang that you're in right now, especially because we're going to be closing this game off, unfortunately. So I will let you have all of that coin. You can definitely, you will be spending one coin to pay the NPC whisper, but and this was a smooth and quiet, in as much as that makes sense for this. But given 6 towers and all of the spectral shit that usually happens in the most haunted district of Duskwall, you have smooth. It was smooth and quiet with low exposure, so you get zero heat. Nobody was imprisoned. We are good. And so now we would move into downtime, and you can spend this as you will. You can There are a couple of options that you can do. Those who have taken a level of harm can use you can do 2 downtime activities per player, right? So you can use one of those activities to recover, so that you go back to full health for the last score. But otherwise, you can train, you can acquire an asset to be used in the next gig, you can reduce heat, which doesn't need to be done, you can train yourselves in skills that you would like, or you can indulge in vice to essentially de-stress, because that is part of the nature of being the underdogs. You take a lot of stress to get your shit done, and stress has to be burnt off in one way or the other. So in this instance, we will go across the players and ask them how they want to spend this time. I will say, in addition to a long-term project, Embardo, you could start one of those if you'd like, because right now you have a surplus of coin, and you know what? As I said, we're going out with a big bang, so make your
Yeah.
legend true, and
Yeah.
we shall get that done. All right, Gilly, uh, what would you like to do in
So Fable is going to train, and I think she wants to train in hands, like close quarter combat. Because her specialty has been kind of like, just don't catch me and don't see me, and that's how I fight, right? But I think
Right.
she wants to get a little better at fighting. Um
Okay.
I also want to so I want to start a long-term project for Fable,
Mhm.
because I think, and I'm trying to like set this up so if Fable makes a guest appearance in the future, then she could be kind of a shadowy figure. Um, but I think that she wants to create essentially a spy school, like where you
Ooh.
teach, and it's kind of inspired by Summer's interaction with the ghost children, right? Because she thinks if they had structure, then maybe they wouldn't be ghosts. Um, but the thing is, Fable's a little chaotic for this, so I don't think it's going to go well or easily. So I think she's just kind of noodling with the idea of how could I train assassin sneaky people without having any responsibility.
You know what? That could definitely be done. You could talk to Summer and try and get this started off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ghost children assassins.
And given that, if there is any training, so how training would work is usually you would train in the specific skill, and once you reach that to full, you can then put 1 pip in any of the skills under that. But
Okay.
given how we are preparing for the last game, you know what? If you want to, and you want to train in hand-to-hand kind of combat, right? I think the
Yeah.
most applicable skill for that would be skirmish,
Yeah, I agree.
right? So, why don't you go ahead and put another pip in? You put your first pip in skirmish. Let's go.
Woo! You're a
And
generous god.
thank you. I am a kind DM. I never said I was nice, but I am a kind. But yeah, and you can. Yeah. Where would you find Summer Sasha and indulge or start this off with? How would that go?
So I think that this actually happens probably when Summer arrives at the theater for something, like maybe after you've gone to visit the ghost children, if you communicate that to us, if that you're doing that.
You would
Like,
probably pick it up. Sasha wouldn't actually talk about it a lot, but you would pick it up.
yeah,
Stained fingers
uh,
from colorful chalk.
yeah. And I think because my vice, I meant to indulge my vice over downtime, but it's fine. We can just say because my vice is media and fandom specifically. So I think I'm reading ye old zines about
Yeah.
my favorite characters from my favorite
Plays.
book series and
Yep. Yep. Yep.
plays.
Yep.
And I think when you come in, Fable just sits up and says, should we train the children?
You're muted now.
Excuse me?
I was thinking that we could train the children. Everybody tells me that if I had structure, I would be less whatever.
What do you mean with the children?
I don't know. Do the ghosts have an interest in business?
I can neither see nor hear the ghost.
That is actually ideal for what I'm thinking about.
Elaborate.
If we could set up a business, we could train. Maybe the ghosts want to play, and then we could train people like me who are on the streets or don't have school. We could be like a school, except I don't want to be like a teacher because teachers are old. But what if is all I'm saying. We could teach people to do sneaky stuff. And if the people were small, they'd be able to fit in smaller places.
Do you mean the ghosts or do you mean the urchins?
Why not both?
For what?
Business?
No. Do your business without me.
It's not. I'm not. This is a good thing. I think. This is
If
why I
even
wanted
you're
to.
not sure that it's a good thing.
Well, maybe it could be turned into a good thing. I'm asking because I'm not sure.
Well, if you maybe it is because I have some not so kind experiences, but I always get a bit of an ick if somebody says they want to make business with children.
Well, no, I'm just giving them the opportunity to be their own. Now that I say that, be your own boss doesn't sound great.
They are homeless. They already are their own
This way
boss.
they
That
could
is their
we could
problem.
provide a home in exchange for goods and services.
No.
Maybe no goods and services?
Are you talking about a school, about a business, or an orphanage?
Yes.
No.
But I'm just trying to think of like giving them skills that would be helpful for them, you know?
Why?
Because I was thinking about the ghost children, and I wondered if maybe they had something like that, then maybe they wouldn't be ghosts.
And why did you call it a business?
Because people usually like it when you say an idea and it's gonna make money.
If you want to make money with it, then keep me out of it.
I didn't say I wanted to make money with it. I just said, like, what do you call it if not a business? You're giving them business skills, maybe.
A school!
I never really went to school. It was confusing. School sounds scary.
You know, I have a contact I could provide you with. They are already in contact with a lot of children who might be in need of help and connections and skills.
So I was thinking, because we have all this money now, and I think she picks up like a pile of her, like, what she has from the score. It's like we gotta do something with this.
Yes. You didn't have any plans.
I mean, plans don't last. Plans tend to go differently shaped.
I can provide you with contacts. I'm willing to be a mediator and sit in the meeting. If something comes out of that, I am willing to reconsider. But and maybe that's just me, I will not put the lives from children's already out of their luck into the hands of somebody, and I do mean this with all the love in my heart, who doesn't even has their own life together.
But that's the point, right?
No, that is the point.
As
Some of your agreeing or disagreeing
Raise
with me.
yourself first.
Came here to have a good time, and I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now.
You asked me for my opinion. You asked me for my help for a really big endeavor.
I think Fable just kind of gives a look because she still isn't quite sure if Summer approves or not, and just picks up her like probably pile of magazines and just goes off to a corner to keep reading like a gremlin.
Isn't sure if Summer approves or not. All right. I believe I need to find it on the wall.
Sounds like a hard disapproval to me.
yeah, little bit. But yes, all right. You have got contacts that you can start this process with, and we shall get into that. Embado, let's go into your downtime. What would you like to do, sir?
And Bardo will take all of his cash that he earned and spend it on material and explosives to build his dragon suit.
You know what? It's going to be a little wibbly wobbly in time, but given that, like, you know, this is in preparation for the last call. Do you have? I think this will take both your downtime slots, at least. So you will be going into it with one level of harm already,
But stressed out. That's fine.
and stressed out. But you have your dragon suit, and it is fabulous, workable. Yeah, but like, it's given the extremely fast construction, like there might be a lot more volatility in it than you might expect. But my friend, you are a dragon.
Awesome. Yeah, so I want to describe some of the things it has. It has like spiked gauntlets that looks like claws, a helmet that's based off that horse thing that we stole. It's modified with like a dragon look. I think it has some reinforced boots that look like dragon feet. and then attached to it is this kind of makeshift backpack that, like, with a crank lever, it expands into wings, and so that's kind of like the aesthetic. There's also probably some gas, like very flammable. This is going to be a note, so when there's consequences, he might blow up. Some very flammable material in the backpack.
Yeah, let's go. Your dragon suit is ready.
I'm a dragon. Just yell it out.
Yeah.
Just yell it out into the night.
You're living the dream.
I'm a dragon, and then supposed to shut up.
All right, Alfred, what would you like to do in your downtime?
So first, I'm gonna indulge my vice because for Alfred, I guess it's less a vice and more a, like, necessity he feels that he has to do. So,
All right.
I am going to take some of my money and get supplies and resources, bring them to my fellow Scotland refugees, just kind of hand those out. I think he dresses down for this. He takes off, his fine jewels and all his stuff, and he just wears his regular clothes. But yeah, it goes down and passes out supplies. That's the first thing.
All right.
And my second thing, I want to start a project. And I'll say, I won't say that I expect anything to come of this project in our particular game, but that it exists. I think Alfred is going to start setting up meetings with different people and sitting down and talking about the new Scotland project.
Oh,
And
okay.
he's looking at, like, the state of sort of like the things going on and the lack of, like, resources and things, and says this is a great place to, like, jam this in here and get our sort of independence and get back to where we were. And so he's going to start building just this idea around with people.
This could have a little more far-reaching consequences, but for sure. Let's first do your vice. How clearing stress using vice works in this game is you essentially you have to the effectiveness of your indulgence depends on your character's worst attribute rating. It is their weakest quality that is most enthralled to vice. So as per your sheet, from what I understand, it is your prowess that is the weakest. Actually, your insight, which is the weakest. Yeah. You have to make an attribute roll using your character's lowest attribute rating. So I think in this, it would be like, it wouldn't be even insight, it would be skirmish, right? So I am now going to ask you to roll a 1d6, and depending on that number.
No, it's a 2.
It's a 2. Perfect. You are able to clear off your 2 points of stress. You don't go into overindulgence and get more heat or entanglements. This is an almost perfect curing of vice that you do as you go through the different Scotland refugee camps, handing out supplies, and their faces light up, and I think further strengthens your long-term project, the new Scotland project. So yeah, we will definitely say that this has been started, and we can continue it even after the session goes, because, like, as it has been stated, any of you are welcome to, like, join in and be a guest performer, guest criminal in the Tuesday game. So this could always come through there. So, but yeah, I will say this is a longer clock. I'd say this is an 8 clock. So I'll say I'll give it to you for free. Your first clock on that is covered in this time in this downtime, and we shall see how that continues going forward, Mr. Alfred Arn. So, all right. Last but definitely not least, Summer Sasha Gray.
With the end
Novak,
of the veil.
Sorry. Summer Novak, yeah.
At the end of the Veiled, Sasha does the thing every god spider does, writing a lot of letters, pulling the last strings they had with the Veils, letting people know that there won't be any more Veils for a time, aka weird spanning, and would write some more letters to some people, basically reaching out to continue their work as Spider. Maybe with another group, or maybe just, they have a bit of coin now. They could start as a deal broker, like getting the jobs in.
Fair. All right. So this sounds like a mix between an acquire an asset and long-term project. What do you have in mind?
I don't have any stress to burn. So Sasha would probably just once as a long-term project, and once as an asset thing.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'll say this is also a long-term project, but given the nature of what you are doing, it's not as complex. But you are reaching out and doing your spider activities. I'll say it's a 4 clock, and you have gotten one of those clocks done at this point. Further entrenching yourself into the criminal underworld of Duskwall.
If I were to write a full-on letter to Talari, just would that also count towards the clock, or is it something I could just, as a player, write up and give Callum for next session?
You could do that and give to Callum for the next session, and yeah, we'll say that is part of you getting your first clock.
The 1 clock.
Yeah, the 1 clock.
Makes sense.
Right. Perfect. So yeah, I'd say it's been a few days at the very least, maybe a week since your last score, and all of you have come through with your downtime. And before we close off the session, again, Adam, remind me how much more time do you have? Sorry, I'm still muted.
Sounds like we're wrapping up, right?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
we'll just go
whatever.
into. Okay, because I thought we'd do the gather information bit for your next score. So
I won't have time for that. I will say this Embargo's project will take a lot of time, and he does not care what happens. He just wants to show the world that he is a dragon.
Perfect. All right, if you do have to head off, we won't keep you. We can do the gathering information with the others. But yeah, GG's.
Yeah. I guess I'll close out. I'm Adam Yee. You can follow me on Blue Sky at It's Me Adam Yee. And thanks, fun session.
Hey,
have fun,
all
everyone.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So all of you gather back in the theater, and yeah, it is time to get information on the last score of the Veiled. So here is my question to all of you: how would you want to go and do this? Like, are what kind of what springs to mind when we're thinking of the
Well,
last score?
because Summer shot down my educational initiative idea, I think Fable is going to be like, okay, well, maybe I should just go and talk to people because that's what Fable does.
Okay.
She's good at blending in and she's good at communicating in a character, but not as Fable herself. So she's gonna kind of ask around, and I think is gonna try and ingratiate herself into some richer groups to see if
Okay.
there's like a bigger thing happening.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Alfred Arn, how would you go about acquiring this?
So I'm gonna do the reverse of what I did last time, where I talked to my friend. I'm gonna kind of attempt to keep an eye on my what are the rival is the word?
Yeah, your
Yeah.
the rival.
Yeah, and just because my rival is a drug dealer,
Hmm.
and I was thinking they must have like some sort of system or setup that I can sabotage. So that was my go for gathering information to figure out how their sort of thing works. So just like, disguising myself and trying to fit into those scenarios to see what they're doing.
Interesting. Sabotaging a major drug dealer's operation. That does sound cool. All right. And Sasha, how would you go about what direction would you go in?
I do believe we have. I mean, remind me again, where did we hear about this gig first? Like the job with the ghost?
This was given to you by one of your contacts. I don't
Okay,
remember right now.
then
But yeah.
it was the information broker.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, it would be impolite to not meet her again.
Okay. Fair enough. So you want to go and meet Salia?
Yeah, and now I even got the money to buy the good peach schnapps.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Gilly. So I'm guessing you want to kind of do a consort kind of thing, and like just like meld in and kind of try and get hearsay of things that you might want to pick up and do.
Yeah, what's truly hilarious is this does not play into my talents as like
Okay.
mechanics at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
And I keep doing charisma stuff and forgetting that she doesn't have any charisma. So here we are. I would make a case for finesse, but that would just me being
Oh,
obnoxious. So I'm gonna accept my fate.
no, see, again, that is one of the things is that, like, it's not the storyteller who calls for a role. You describe how you're
That's
doing
true.
something. So, yeah.
I think it is. I think it's prowl in the sense that it's very much like hunting. Like she's still blending in, but she's trying to mimic more what they're doing. Um, and I think that's why it's prowl. It's because it's like a predator monitors and adapts, and I think that's what she's doing.
All right.
Or
Perfect.
I said finesse. I'm now just being ridiculous.
No, no, no.
But anyway,
We can go with Prowl, most certainly. Uh,
uh,
roll me 2d6 then.
Okay. Roll 2d6. That's a 2 and a 1. So things are going great here. Thank you.
Yeesh. Yeesh. I think.
This is also what happened during the gather information session, the first session so Fable's presence in this series has just been failing at gathering information rolls.
I think that in doing this, you happen upon a particular mansion, and you sneak into their smoking room, and yeah, there's a fuckload of smoke, and it is definitely of a stupor inducing variety. And yeah, like I think in that moment, as you were quietly trying to take in your information, you've taken a lot more smoke than you intended to, Faber, and it's a very quick moment for you to get to the roof from the smoking room and just kind of slowly pass out as you start dreaming of portents of the future, which somehow include fucking dragon of Duskwall.
Yeah, that's a weird dream that I had. I think she wakes up, and after this happens, there's just a montage of her lying on her face in various parts of the theater, just on the stage, in the balcony, in the the catwalks.
Fair, fair.
It's just, and then she wakes up from the dragon dream, and it's just weird. And all of these, she has a pile of magazines that she's using as a pillow.
All right. Alfred on, what would you like to do in terms of your information gathering? It's so reminding you again, Brill knows you. So it would be a fair amount of skullduggery on your part to get into these circles. You could either try and do that, or you could go through another path. You could go through his customers and try and figure out things that where they get it, etc., etc. But of course, it is up to you. How would Alfred go about getting this information on Brill, the drug dealer?
I think it's more on the customer side. How I imagine Alfred being sort of like rivals with this person is that he sort of preys on the Scotland refugees more often than not. And so I think Alfred would know some of them, and that would be where he would sort of start, but then he would branch out to more people throughout the city to just get an idea of what he does and how he operates.
So what kind of skill do you think you'd be bringing to the table in this regard?
I'm going to make an argument for consort. I think it's sort of like a engaging with people type
100%,
thing.
100%.
Yeah.
And especially given the variety of avenues of life in Duskwall that are open to you, both as a Skovlan noble who is privy to invitations to grand galas at noble houses and charter hall parties, and the fact that you are a beneficiary and a provider of aid to many of the more bereft and poverty-stricken Skovlan refugees. This could definitely come into play. Please give me a consort roll.
That's a 1 and a 4.
A 1 and a 4. Okay. given that it's a 4, it is still a success, but you will have some effects, some things that might not entirely go your way. It might be in the way that you stumbled a little more or asked a question that was too blatant. So, some information that a certain Alfred Arn is asking around the dealings of Brill the drug dealer might get back to him. But you have gotten some pertinent information. We will, you know what? Either way, this is the gathering of the information stage. So all of this information will be provided to you at the beginning of the last session. And then we can get into the actual score of it. Would you have informed Sasha of your plans in that regard? Like, would there have been a conversation with them about what you want to accomplish by taking on one of the more prominent drug dealers of Duskwall?
I think initially no. Not until he had a little bit of information.
Okay.
And then Alfred might have come back and been like, I have a person who I, don't really enjoy, and they would benefit us if they failed. And we could probably gain something from making them fail. I'm
How is
still.
that so?
Brill is his name. He's a drug dealer that sells drugs to a lot of the Scotland refugees. I don't like him. And he doesn't like me because I've engaged with him a couple times.
Don't tell me that's the same one that tries to use the street kids to sell his... Well, I wouldn't call it goods.
It is the same chap.
That motherfucker.
And that's the absolute first time you ever hear Sasha curse.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Do you know any cliff we can shove him from?
Plenty of cliffs.
I meant metaphorically, but yeah.
There are some tall buildings in Duskwall, most definitely.
Maybe not so metaphorical.
All right. And then we move to Summer Sasha Novak. How would you go about doing this?
I would meet her at the same place as always, with the same liquor as always. Or again, being a bit too early, so I'm there first.
Yeah. Remind me where it is like that you usually meet them.
Alongside of one of the rivers, there is, well, a park is said a tiny bit too much, but there's one of the few lanterns that create enough light for plants to actually grow. And there's a bench there. It's actually quite nice. You can see the shards of the sun moving across the sky if you, well, want to risk your eyes, but...
All right. And indeed, given that you are early, you sit there and you take a look around the area, and it's quiet. And given that you have your usual hospitality parcel waiting next to you on the bench with you, it's a quiet night, and well, quiet as it is, somewhere in the distance you hear a spirit crow cawing, and you know that death is as ever a constant presence in the city. But it is a quieter area, which is why you hear the whistling of your friend Salia as she saunters into the park and No, there you are, darling.
You know, I had a really, really smart thing that I wanted to tell you, but then I looked into your eyes and I forgot.
No, I told you there's no need for you to raise me up, but I will, as always, welcome it. What's happening, darling? I heard of I heard of some things that were going on with the Veiled, and what's happening in that direction.
Let's just say the veil is about to fall.
Hmm.
How would you put it? Artistic differences.
Understandable, understandable. There are always those that come when working with fellow artists. Though, from what I heard of one of them, there's seems to be a lot of fire involved with that war.
Do not remind me. On the other hand, have you heard of a dragon?
I've heard some stories that are going around. I've
Yeah,
heard.
the dragon of Duskwall. We've heard about that.
I am an information broker, love.
Yeah.
Hmm. And that was connected to you, then, was it?
Oh, I would never say that.
Hmm.
I'm just saying there was a dragon and we have a dragon.
She just taps the side of her nose as she comes and sits down. And you've brought the goods. Now,
Don't leave a
is
lady unsatisfied.
hmm, that is for sure. And that is a problem that I've never had with you, my love. But now that we've gotten the pleasantries done with, what is it that you're looking for? I know that glint in your eyes. Do you already have a target?
One last job.
Hmm.
Not the last job for me. I will probably never stop doing that. But a job that's big enough to make the kids happy and stop playing, and a job easy enough for them to survive and hard enough to um how do I put this nicely? Well, if they can't jump high enough, it's not my problem anymore.
She gives you a considering look and nods. All right, that sounds like something I can get behind. What's your target?
Right now, we don't have a target yet. That's where I hoped you would know something.
Well, there are a couple of things that are going around. There has been a little bit of a gang war that's going on between the Lampblacks and the Red Sashes. And given that is potentially leading to a clusterfuck of immense proportion, other players are moving in the shadows. That's your department.
I see.
I I have heard of a gang. Well, they deal with drugs, and they're trying to deal with another one that has now recently got their hands on a recipe for a new product that is hit in the streets rather hard.
Do not tell me it is the one and the only. That wonderful gentleman that thinks it's a great idea to get the kids hooked because desperate kids might, with a lot of luck, grow into desperate adults.
Hmm. She will make a grimace before taking the bottle and just like popping it down, and just taking a straight up swig. Is that bastard indeed.
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah.
Goddamn Fantastic fucking Brill.
Oh, that's wonderful because we might have a little tiny bit on, might have the potential of a tiny bit of dirt on him.
Hmm. Well, and she just leans over. Are you in the mood to share, or do I have to wrestle it out of you?
Sadly, I'm still waiting for a few letters to return, but as soon as I know anything, you will get a wonderful letter. What's your favorite color, love?
What color are your eyes?
Sasha got blue eyes.
She just leads into you and just says, blue.
Well, then I'll try my best to get you a blue flower.
She will. Salia is a big woman. She is like, broad in the shoulder, but
Yeah, and Sasha is a twink.
yep, yep. So she does kind of lean and pat you on the cheek and leaves her palm on your cheek. Well, if you're looking enough to go after that folk, I can definitely try and get some information. And given it is that bastard, I'm not even going to charge you for it. I don't want his product running around any more than anyone else does.
See, that's what we do, Celia. We're making the world a better place bit by bit.
As long as this formula for this new shite that he's pushing comes to me, and I know some people who could do better things with it than peddle it on the streets.
You're trying to get the nobles hooked, aren't you?
She just has a smirk on her face.
Well, at least they'll have silver plates to snort it from.
No, there's a question of things that you want to snort. And she will just lean forward, take one of the cookies from the thing and bites into it. And she leans back. Right. Well, I certainly have a direction to point my energies in. And given that, you are, let's just for the mechanics sake of it, what skill would you want to do to use with Salia in this regard?
Summer's kind of a one-trick pony. Consort. Just being
Right.
pleasant, just being nice.
Fair. Roll me a consort check then.
A 2 and a 6.
A 6. I mean, fair enough. She will. Right. I can definitely get some information and send it over in your direction. I can definitely do that. And she would stand up and brush down her suit and then look at you. Well, it has been a long night for me, and I have been working all day. Maybe we go and find some dinner somewhere. And
that does sound wonderful, because Celia, with the Veiled gone, I might be looking for a new place of, a new post office, if you want to put it that way.
She will stand up and she will offer her arm for you. Love, you can always find a place in my post office. And she laughs. And she will walk off with you into the night, leaving the bench there as it has been for a while. And we will zoom out from there. The city of Duskwall glitters with the spark energy coursing through it. The walls pulse, and the lightning keeps the undead masses away as they have. And we shall come back to this murky day in Duskwall on the next time we play, which will be July 11th, where we will have the last score of the whale. But yes, that is it. That is it from us here at Pantsless Tables and Murky Days in Duskwall, Murky Year Days in Duskwall. But yes, I shall leave it to. I shall leave the outro to my lovely players. Starting, we'll go in reverse order this time. Laura, go for it.
Hey everybody, I'm Laura, also known as Bart with Many Names. You can find me basically everywhere on the internet as Bart with Many Names. You can find me here at Alternating Fridays, at least one more time. You can find me on Tuesday at Misadventurous League, and you may find me soon on, it seems like Wednesdays at Wednesdays. I don't know how to talk. Wednesdays at House of Dreams, maybe with some familiar faces
Yes.
that are not at all subtle right now. Also, if anybody, for any reason at all, should be at the Conquest of Mythodea, like the worldwide biggest LARP convention in the whole world, I will be at the Tross as a bard. You can actually find me real life barding.
What a surprise. Uh,
Oh, right.
Mr. Souza.
I'm Andrew. You can find me at a Souza GM wherever you're looking for me, and I am also the host of Melanin Mythos and all BIPOC world building podcasts over on Apochromatic Unlimited. And yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
All right. Gilly.
Hi, I'm Gilly. You can find me at It's Gilly most places on the internet. I will not be here for the next session unless I can escape from some fairly steadfast commitments. But I'm hoping to be back playing Fable at some point, maybe in the fall, maybe in the winter, eventually. Who can say? I have thoughts that I will DM to you, great O master of ours. I can be found on Voucher's channel. We are going to start the second half of our Kids on Bikes campaign. This soda plant in town is like creating soda that is magical. We don't know what's going on. It's very weird. Some of our friends have been kidnapped and are being experimented on by a soda company. Anyway, then you could also find some of my editing work in Songs from the Spellbound Sea, a Nautical 5e supplement, which I copy edited. It's super cool, and if you like ships and other nautical things, then you should check it out. The caffeine is kicked in. I'm sorry for the speed at which everything I am saying is happening. Please take the attention away from me.
Done. Yeah, we shall conclude with your friendly neighborhood storyteller. Hey, folks of the internet, it's me, Aadi MK. You can find me at Noonlight Creations on Instagram and on Blue Sky as Aadi MK. I am in far too many projects and IRL stuff that I'm trying to do. I am going to be part of a pre-recorded Fabula Ultima game that will be run on Misadventures League. I am also going to be part of the aforementioned project on House of Dreams, where I will be playing with the lovely bard with many names, my friend, my boo, Laura. You will continue to find me on Pantsless tables on alternate Tuesdays, where I will be running the Blades in the Dark game, Murky Tuesdays there, Murky Days in Duskwall. I also run my own homebrew 5e campaign, which is now unfortunately has been moved to pre-recorded as opposed to streamed because editing. But yeah. As always, it has been a fun night playing with all of you lovely people. But that is it from here at Pantsless Tables, Murky Days in Duskwall. Much love. Take care of yourselves. And there's a lot of shit that's happening in the world right now. Free Palestine, 100%. But as always, you never know when someone you might have wanted to talk to or wanted to hug will not be there. So reach out to them, tell them you love them, give them a hug. And that is it from us at Pantsless Tables. Good night, people of the internet. Much love.